All right, we are back. Another YouTube exclusive. Sorry, my voice is quivering a little bit. Allergies. I'm your host, the mandated reporter, and frankly, I'm mortified, Mr. Mark Radulich. And we've got a YouTube exclusive alternative commentary tonight for Teofimo Lopez versus Jamaine Ortiz. Teofimo Lopez, 19-1, will put his WBO title on the line. He returned to the ring after capturing the WBO and Ring Junior welterweight titles against Josh Taylor this past June. Jamaine Ortiz, 17-1-1, is a former USBA and NABF lightweight champion. He outpointed Antonio Moran this past September to rebound from a loss to Vasilily Lomachenko. In the co-main event, which should be up momentarily, lightweights Keyshawn Davis and Jose Pedraza will go at it. So that's pretty exciting. So we're going to call the action. It's just me flying solo tonight. So it's going to be me reacting to what I see on the screen, giving you my quick reaction, quick commentary about what I'm seeing. The fight's on Top Rank Boxing on ESPN. If you want to check that out and follow along for those of you who have access to ESPN. No Robert tonight, no Pat, none of my usual buddies, just me kind of hanging out, watching the fight, which is why we're doing a YouTube exclusive. For those of you that are interested in what happened earlier in the evening, it's been going since about 6:30, I think, the prelim card. So we have Art Pereira Jr. He defeated Michael Patalis via TKO round 1 at 1 minute and 41 seconds. Limis Isam Riley defeated Antonio Zapata via TKO round 3 at 1 minute and 28 seconds. Alan Garcia defeated Tomas Ornelas TKO round 1, 51 seconds. Pretty exciting stuff so far. Charlie he defeated Abdel Salceda by unanimous decision, 80-72 on all 3 scorecards. Abdullah Mason defeated Benjamin Germent via TKO round 2 at 1 minute and 29. Javier Martinez defeated Raul Solomon via unanimous decision, 79-73, 78-74, and 78-74. And then I believe right before we went to air at 10:30, Rene Tellez-Giron defeated George Acosta 79 by unanimous decision, 79-72, 78-73, and 76-75. So that's what we got going on right here. For those of you that are into the betting odds, let's see. What does the Hard Rock give us? So I'm using the Hard Rock Bet app because I live in Florida, and that's the only way you can bet on sports here in this particular state. Let's see. Teofimo, is a minus 650. Jamaine Ortiz is 425. So if you were to bet on Teofimo Lopez, say $40, right? You would win a whole $6.15. However, if you were to bet on Jamaine Ortiz, not likely. Let's put $50 on him. You'll win $262.50. So yes, if there's an upset, there's a fair amount of money to be made. I'm not going to take that bet, though. I'm pretty sure the A side of this one, Mr. Teofimo Lopez, is going to win this one pretty handily. I expect him again, hasn't fought in a little bit, but, he's still Teofimo Lopez. I think he puts us away not around 9, around 10. All right, we are introducing our co-main event now. Lightweights, 10 rounds. Keyshawn Davis versus Jose Pedraza. Keyshawn Davis 9-0 with 6 KOs. So we'll see what happens here. Keyshawn Davis is the A side of this one. Jose Pedraza 0-2-1 in the last 3 fights. Not great. Definitely seems like more of a showcase fight for Keyshawn Davis. For those of you that are watching, first of all, thank you. If you want to leave a comment, ask a question, I'm happy to do that. Put those, respond to those rather. I could put them on screen if I wanted to, but if we were doing StreamYard, but YouTube does not let us do that as near as I can tell. Or if they can, I haven't figured out how to do that yet. I'm still kind of monkeying around with all of this. So with these YouTube exclusives, because I don't have a co-host here, I can't talk just constantly the entire time. After I kind of learned that after the last one I did. Yeah, I try to respond to as much as I can. I try to provide as much entertainment as I can while I'm doing this, but after a while, I just kind of run out of things to say without reading things off the internet. So that's kind of part of the experience here. Is at times it's going to get quiet because I actually have to watch the fight, wait for things to happen, and then I'll comment on them. But occasionally I'm going to get a little quiet, so just want to warn everyone ahead of time. All right, we are ready to begin here. Keyshawn Davis versus Jose Pedraza, round 1. All right, Keyshawn Davis going after Jose Pedraza early. Tries a hook, goes to the body. Jose Pedraza returning fire ever so lightly. They tie up pretty quickly. Jose Pedraza's got a lot of movement going on. So he's trying to bait Keyshawn Davis to come forward, maybe catch him going back. Pedraza looking for a way in. Keyshawn Davis. Good counter from Keyshawn Davis. He had a nice 1-2 hook combination. Keyshawn catches Jose coming in with a right hand. A lot of movement from Jose Pedraza. Just tons. Another right hand from Keyshawn Davis. It's tagging him pretty good. Not enough to make him on wobbly legs or anything, but Keyshawn Davis has scored a couple of times now with the right. I like what I'm seeing out of Jose Pedraza. I mean, he's trying to change levels. Goes to the head, goes to the body, seeing if he can get Keyshawn Davis to open up a bit. Keyshawn Davis, for his part, using his defenses very well. Nice side headlock there from Keyshawn Davis. So Keyshawn Davis doing a lot of clinching now, weirdly. Jose Pedraza starting to pick up the pace a little bit. He's really going after Keyshawn. Keyshawn's fighting off the back foot. He's circling around the ring. He is tampered down his offense this round. By the end of this round, we're still in round 1. Keyshawn makes Jose Pedraza miss, returns fire, and that is the end of the round. I think it's a pretty safe round for Keyshawn Davis. Some good stuff there by Jose too, but I don't think enough to have taken the round from Davis. Davis scored pretty high the first minute or so. Kind of took the last minute off, but still, I think overall good effort from Keyshawn Davis in round one. Now we're showing highlights of Keyshawn Davis's last few fights. So if you're tuning in while we're waiting for round two to start, we had a fun week here on the Radulich Broadcasting Network. Jason Teasley and Alexis Hayner reviewed Percy Jackson and the Olympians on Disney Plus. Robert and I reviewed Argyle, and then Jason came back and hung out with me. We continued our series of Black History Month podcast. We looked at Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody, the Tina Turner and Ike Turner movie, What's Love Got to Do with It, and finally, The Respect, starring Jennifer Hudson. This is the story of Aretha Franklin. We are in round two. More of Jose Pedraza coming forward and then getting tied up by Keyshawn Davis. They're both getting some admonishment there from the referee. Clinch up again. Big right hand there from Jose Pedraza. So Teofimo Lopez came to the arena tonight wearing the Deadpool costume, sans the mask. That's always fun. It's always fun when fighters decide they're going to do cosplay. All right, more clinching here in round two. All right. Keyshawn Davis still fighting off the back foot and clinching. I have a sneaking suspicion they're going to give this round to Keyshawn Davis, but I'm not entirely sure that he's actually earned it. All right, Keyshawn Davis finally starting to open up just a little bit. Jose Pedraza stalking Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn steps out of the corner. Keyshawn Davis now starting to pick up the pace a little bit. He threw a combination, covered up. Pedraza pushed him back a little bit. I'm really liking Pedraza in this round. I can't really justify it for Keyshawn Davis. I think he was a little too passive in that second round. I think he gave Pedraza way too much. And I think we have a 1-1 fight so far. So they're showing a commercial for Zoe Saldana. Just mildly amusing. In a very, very big jacket. Jacket. So actually, it's a T-Mobile commercial and an iPhone commercial. All right, round three. All right, total body punches 33-16. Keyshawn Davis, Jose Pedraza. And those are percents. Pedraza's really trying to crowd Keyshawn Davis. Now he's sort of stepping forward and then covering up, and Keyshawn is punching into his guard. Yeah, Keyshawn Davis now finally picking up the pace here after taking round 2 off. Good right hand from Keyshawn Davis. Really bent Jose Pedraza's neck. The crowd's coming alive and the announcers are getting lively. Keyshawn Davis, yeah, he's starting to pick at Jose Pedraza. I think Pedraza or Keyshawn Davis might be smelling blood in the water here, figuring, you know what, I think I can put this guy out early. Oh, yep. Combination there. Jose Pedraza stumbled a bit. Yeah. Keyshawn Davis is teeing off on Jose Pedraza now. Pedraza's starting to fight back. He's walking forward. He's throwing shots to the body. Keyshawn Davis don't sweat Jose Pedraza's power, I'll tell you that much. Might be the argument for why he gave him round 2. See, like, all right, how much mustard you got on these? And I guess he decided not much, because right now he's just teeing off on Jose with no problem. Uppercut. Keyshawn Davis just throwing a variety of punches here. Jose Pedraza struggling to come forward, struggling to figure out how he's going to react to Keyshawn Davis coming forward the way he is. Keyshawn Davis is using Jose Pedraza as a sparring partner. It's like not a whole lot here for Jose Pedraza in this round. So Jose keeps coming forward, throwing combinations, and the good thing about Keyshawn is he's really using his defense to evade a lot of those punches. So Jose may tire himself out before too long. Yeah, Keyshawn's really making Jose chase him, and Jose is not really able to lay good, effective punches down on Keyshawn. Nice right hand from Jose, though. That clipped Keyshawn in the temple. All right, Keyshawn goes to the body again. Not a bad fight. They're kind of standing going toe to toe here. Keyshawn Davis doing a really, really good job of staying on top of Jose, avoiding most of his punches, and laying in some pretty good offense. So I would say round 3 definitely goes to Keyshawn Davis. So next week here on the Radulich Broadcasting Network, for those of you that care what else we do besides watch movies and review, watch boxing and do commentary on live boxing, we have got a review of Lisa Frankenstein on Monday, and then Tuesday, Jason and I are doing a look at Richard Pryor's movies. We're looking at Car Wash, Brewster's Millions, and The Toy, starring Jackie Gleason. So those will be fun. And it's Valentine's Day. Alexis Haynes is going to spend her Valentine's Day reviewing Has Been Hotel instead of their husband. And then Thursday, I don't know what's happening, but I will be at Machine Head and Fear Factory at the House of Blues in Orlando. Oh, we've got the doctor in. Let's see what happens here. All right, they're saying he's good to go. But clearly Keyshawn Davis has done some damage here. Let's see if he capitalizes. Jamaine Ortiz, 17-1-1 with 8 KOs. I think he's about to make it 17-2. Keyshawn Davis sidestepped Jose Pedraza and kind of chucked him into the ropes. Up next, Teofimo Lopez versus Jamaine Ortiz for the WBO and linear junior welterweight world titles. All right, Keyshawn Davis clinched up with Jose Pedraza. He worked a little body a little bit. Jose Pedraza goes to the body. Keyshawn Davis blocks it, returns. Jose Pedraza. Keyshawn Davis really breaking down Jose Pedraza's guard. Like, he's definitely finding ways to tag him. You know, it's a singular punch here and there, but for the most part, like, he's getting through that guard pretty good. So far this round, nothing has pretty much shook up Jose Pedraza like it did in the other round. But Keyshawn Davis still managing to pour on the offense without taking too much damage himself. Jose Pedraza trying to make Keyshawn Davis sort of wear his weight, which I don't know how well that's working. Yeah, Jose Pedraza maybe trying to turn this into more of a brawl, and it's not really working for him. All right, uppercut there from Keyshawn Davis. All right, pretty decent combination there to end the round. I'm going to have to give that one also to Keyshawn Davis. So right now, I believe after 4 rounds, it's 3-1 Keyshawn Davis. Last boxing show that we did was the Francis Ngannou Tyson Fury fight. It's an opportunity to talk a little bit about the Tyson Fury thing. Like, I understand you get cut training for a fight, something happens, you get injured. It's part of the game. I do understand that, contrary to Robert Winfrey's opinion. I get that injuries happen. My problem is Tyson's lack of activity. And when he was active, he took a circus fight with Francis Ngannou. You're the WBC champion after, 3 hard fights against Deontay Wilder. He fought in 2022. And so, all right, real quick, Mark Kriegel's scorecard, he has it 40-36. So he gave all 4 rounds to Davis. Again, that's second round's questionable in my opinion. But 10-9 all the way across for 4 rounds for Keyshawn Davis. So yeah, just real quick, it's not so much that he got cut and the fight got postponed. We have a slip there from Keyshawn Davis. It's that he's just been so inactive since being the WBC champion for the second time around. I understand some of that was COVID, but there are guys that have been pretty active since COVID and the shutdown and all of that. Since boxing's been on the air again. So for me, the way that we've had to wait this long for Tyson Fury to fight Alexander Usyk, and they've been trying to make this fight for like 2 years now. And it has to be delayed again because he cut himself. It's frustrating, We've been waiting 20 years to have a unified champion, in the first time in the 4-belt era, and we keep waiting and waiting and waiting, and I keep waiting for Tyson Fury basically to be like, yeah, I'm retired. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. That's why I said my vote was just fucking strip him a title. Give it, put it up for grabs between Usyk and Hrgovic. Round 5, like halfway through this now. Jose Pedraza cannot keep Keyshawn Davis cornered at all. Keyshawn Davis perfectly happy to back into the corner, sidestep out again before Jose Pedraza even gets, in position to throw a punch. So all the credit in the world to Keyshawn Davis. All right, if you're watching on YouTube, we appreciate you. You're watching, period. We appreciate you here. I don't know how many people else are doing live streams of this Teofimo Lopez fight, but if there was another choice and you chose this one, it's certainly very nice of you. Thank you. Jose Pedraza cannot get a beat on Keyshawn Davis. Less than 20 seconds left of round 5. Keyshawn Davis picking apart Jose still. Gets a good combination. Most of that lands. All right. Another round, I think, with Keyshawn Davis, believe it or not. And now we have a backstage interview with Teofimo Lopez, currently not wearing his favorite Deadpool cosplay. Three and one KO in world title fights. Teofimo Lopez. Good use of Teofimo Lopez in that last segment there. Very personable. All right, round 6. Pedraza walks into a hook. 20% for Keyshawn Davis. Total punches through round 5. Yep. We have another push down. First time it was Keyshawn. Second time it was Jose Pedraza. All right, Keyshawn Davis attacking the body. Good right hand there to the head. All right, the crowd's getting lively again. Keyshawn Davis has Pedraza possibly on spaghetti legs. Nice right hand from Keyshawn. Yeah, and we're done. Winner by stoppage. I guess that would be a TKO. Yep, Keyshawn Davis beat him in 6. The referee said, didn't like what he had to say. Didn't like, just felt like the guy was taking a beating for no good reason. Keyshawn Davis is your winner. Good for him. The commentators are beside themselves with how well Keyshawn Davis did there. All right, I will be right back momentarily. All right. They're running a graphic here of Teofimo Lopez in like South Park-ish on a roller coaster. They're talking about his 2020 win over Lomachenko. It's quite literal. They're using like a circus motif for tonight's show. All right, they're talking about his loss to Kambosos in 2021. This is unbearable. So I think the next time I'm doing one of these reactions, these alternative commentary streams, is again, it's going to be on a Friday night because most Saturday nights I'm busy. That's why I don't do these a lot. I don't do these mostly anymore. But there's a good Friday night fight coming out. Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou in Saudi Arabia. I have scheduled myself to do a alternative commentary for that. So that'll be March 8th. That'll be the next time I come at you here on YouTube with one of these exclusive boxing streams. All right. Your winner by TKO, 10-0, Keyshawn Davis, 1:09 of round 6. Good for Keyshawn. Yes, they always thank God first. Of course they do. So Keyshawn Davis outlanded Pedraza in total punches, 139-46. Blowout. So if you're interested in what else is happening in the world of boxing, while we wait for the next fight to start, which will hopefully be soon. I hope this is not one of those top ranked cards where, god damn, they just fucking kill time forever. Saturday, we've got from London, England, on ESPN Plus, Hamzat Shiraz versus Liam Williams for Shiraz's Commonwealth title. Anthony Yard in the house versus Marco Nikolic, 10 rounds. Sam Nook versus Louis Sylvester for Nook's Commonwealth title. So that's a pretty decent fight. And then over on DAZN, not to be outdone, they also have a English card. This one's in Newcastle. We have Liam Dillon versus Reece Bellotti for Dillon's British title and Bellotti's Commonwealth title. And the co-main is Shannon Ryan versus Emma Dolan, super flyweights, 10 rounds for the vacant British title and Dolan's Commonwealth title. And there will be 3 fights before that. So that's it for this weekend. Friday, February 16th, we've got Osheki Foster versus Abraham Nova for Foster's WBC title. And then over on DAZN, we have Adrian Curiel versus Savanthi Nalchinga, which is a rematch at junior flyweight for Curiel's IBF title. That's the 16th, so nothing on the 17th, it looks like, according to Bad Left Hook, at least. February 24th, Saturday, we've got Alexandro Santiago and Junta Nakatani on ESPN Plus in Japan for Santiago's WBC title. And then right here in Florida at the Caribe Royale on DAZN, we've got Edward Berlanga. Yeah, Edward Berlanga back, super middleweight, 12 rounds against Padraig McCrory. In the co-main, we have Andy Cruz versus Brian Zamaripa. And then a handful of other fights. That is it for the month of February. March 2nd kicks off in Puerto Rico with Amanda Serrano versus Nina Minky. But more importantly than all that, we have Jake Paul back in action again. At cruiserweight, it'll be 8 rounds. I don't remember if they've announced his opponent yet or not. They have to have, and I don't think Bad Left Hook has updated their site yet. So, well, excuse me. Well, I've been watching the Jake Paul fight. Absolutely. Am I going to call it? No. It's a giant waste of time. All right, we're running a package here for the showman, Teofimo Lopez. So let's look at ULTO. So again, we have 20 fights, 19 wins, 1 loss. He went 16-0. And up to that point, he had won his first major title was against, it was a second round TKO in 2019 at Madison Square Garden against Richard Comey, and he won the IBF lightweight title. And then he had the big one against Vasilily Lomachenko, where he beat him by unanimous decision in 2020. He won the WBA Super, WBO, and the Ring lightweight titles, and then lost it all to George Kambosos. November 27th, 2021, by split decision. He had a get well fight, TKO win, 7th round against Pedro Campa. And then by that point, he had won the WBO International lightweight title, which he retained against Sandor Martin. And then, in his biggest win yet, since the loss to Kambosos, he beat Josh Taylor by unanimous decision last June at Madison Square Garden, where he won the WBO and Ring lightweight titles. And so he's got those on the line against Ortiz tonight. Jamaine Ortiz, for his part, he has 19 fights, 17 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. And he racked up a decent 14-win win streak up through 2020. He went to a draw with Joseph Adorno. It was a majority decision draw. In April 2021 in Kissimmee, as a matter of fact, right here in my backyard. He won a vacant North American Boxing Federation lightweight title in 2022 in Orlando against Nahir Albright. And then he actually has a win over Jamel Herring, where he won a vacant IBF and USBA lightweight title, and he retained his previous one. That was in Vegas. It was May 21st of 2022. And then he lost to Lomachenko October 22nd. No title on the line, looks like there. And then he got back in the win column with Antonio Moran this past September in Corpus Christi, Texas, by unanimous. So, not, I don't think he's going to be a complete pushover, but this is definitely a showcase fight for Teofimo Lopez. This is an opportunity for him to rack up another victory, set himself up for a bigger fight down the line. So we'll see what happens here. And that fight will be up in just about 5 minutes according to the countdown. So I'll be with you shortly. Hey, Sean. You have missed, I'll put it in the chat too. You've only missed the one. You missed. They started this at 6:30, which I didn't cover any of the undercard. So since they went to the main broadcast at 10:30, there's just been the Keyshawn Davis fight, which he won in the 6th round, and now we are up to the main event finally, or at least in the next 5 minutes. All right, I will be back in one moment. Well, I was going to walk away for a second, but Sean's hanging out with me, so we're in the chat right now. Looks like there are a few other people ready to tune in. It should be a little less than 3 minutes left before we start getting into the main event here between Teofimo Lopez and Jamaine Ortiz. All right, they're showing Teofimo Lopez backstage, getting loose, staying warmed up. So they're talking about Teofimo's upcoming ring entrance. They're saying it's going to be epic. I don't know, man. I've seen some interesting ring entrances. I think it's still my favorite is what the hell's his name? Oh, words are escaping me. Vladimir something Russian. His ring entrance when he fought David Hay, where they did a skit beforehand with George Foreman. That was fun. Okay, thanks, buddy. I just saw your comment now. Yeah, I'm a little tired tonight. Like I wanted to do this, and I want to watch the Teofimo Lopez fight, and I will be giving you live commentary just as soon as it starts. But like trying to kill time, especially by myself, when I'm this tired. Like I, as you can see, I struggle with finding shit to say. Klitschko, Jesus Christ, Vladimir Klitschko, his fight with David Hay had like the funniest fucking entrance to me. So yeah, I'll be right back. All right, I think we are finally ready to start the main event. They're showing another package. God, these fucking ESPN broadcasts. I mean, they definitely know how to kill some time. All right. I think we're actually ready to go to the ring and start this thing. Yay. The moment has finally arrived, they tell us. We'll see. they have to drag this out just a little bit. I remember a few years ago, me and Dan Lasby did one of these top rank shows, and it didn't get started until like 1 o'clock in the morning. I think the broadcast might have started between like 10 or 11. It just went on forever. All right. Jamaine Ortiz is actually walking to the ring. Hot diggity dog. Jamaine Ortiz, 27. Reach, 69. Height, 5'8". First world title of his career. Possibly his last. He's being rapped / sang to the ring by somebody named Jorel, son of Jorel. I don't know this guy. So they're talking about the odds. He's a 7-1 underdog. He's like, I'm like someone. I don't know about that. Got a lot of faith in Teofimo. Yeah, Straight out of Argo City. I always find it funny when they just wear like a t-shirt to the ring. Like you're in the main event, but you just, you're wearing a t-shirt in a high school gym somewhere. Like, we need flair. We need pomp and circumstance. Not Ric Flair, but like we need pomp. We need circumstance, not you wearing a t-shirt that says the technician. Put a robe on, for God's sake. Then on the complete opposite side of that, it's Deontay Wilder, who wears Iron Man armor and then complains that his legs got tired. Woo! Helicopter is right. Be one way to show up to the ring. Just waving your shit around. Whee! I'm gonna win a boxing match. Alrighty. So, like I said, they went with a circus motif for tonight. And Teofimo Lopez about to come to the ring. They have circus performers on the rampway. And they're playing circus music. Yep. We've got twirlers. We've got jugglers. We've got a sword swallower. Arr. Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. Someone just swallowed 2 swords live on ESPN. And that's a bearded lady. Oh, here he comes. Looking like the ringmaster from Marvel Comics. Let's see. He's got the it's the exact opposite of what Jamaine Ortiz did here. The Teofimo Lopez just a dancing and a shucking and a jiving. He's got the old circus coat on. He's got a top hat. He's smiling. He's having a good time. He's like, "Yay! I'm a star on a Thursday night in Vegas." I feel like he might have seen 1 or 2 wrestling matches in his time, doing a very wrestling-esque entrance. Sean says, "You joke, but I'm old enough to remember the greatness of Tuesday night fights on USA. I used to watch that, buddy. I watched that. I watched the Tough Man contest on FX. Do you want to see some fun fights? Go see if you can find the old Tough Man show from FX on like YouTube or Daily Motion or something. It was quality television." Yep, Tough Man was great. All right, we are finally getting to formal ring introductions by the ring announcer. Get in the zone, AutoZone. This fight is scheduled for 1 fall. 1 fall. All right, your judges are Tim Cheatham, David Sutherland, and Steve Weisfeld. It certainly is, Ollie. It's definitely the main event. Jamaine Ortiz is the number 10 ranked junior welterweight. Ooh. He's from Worcester. All right, so with the way this is being presented, I'm expecting the ring announcement style from like the Daffy Duck and Elmer Fudd cartoon where they boxed, where they're like, "Oh, he's good to his mother, your friend, humanitarian, Daffy Duck." I feel like that's the intro that Teofimo Lopez is going to get tonight. Sean again. Something just feels off about midweek boxing not being followed by an all new silk stockings. Was it you or somebody else I was talking to where like shortly after Raw there would be like La Femme Nikita, and it was the only way they were going to get anyone to watch La Femme Nikita was to put it on after wrestling. Because I can't tell you how many times I nodded off at the end of Raw and woke up in the middle of a La Femme Nikita episode. Or if I was watching Nitro, wake up and I'd be in the replay of Nitro. Yeah, that was you, Sean. I vaguely remember Tech War. I know that was a Shatner show. All right, they've introduced Teofimo Lopez. I think they are threatening to start a boxing match. You know, it's sort of like, oh, it feels off. I mean, this is not the first Thursday show they've done. They've done Tuesday shows right before the pandemic, actually. I was supposed to cover a Fight and Irish Michael Conlon fight. And that was supposed to happen on St. Patrick's Day on a Tuesday. But alas, it did not happen because the world ended. They are nose to nose. Harvey Dock is your referee. All right. We are ready to begin. It was. You know, even if you didn't have like HBO or Showtime back in the day, it was nice to have boxing on the USA Network. Round one. All right. They are both standing in the center of the ring, kind of throwing some jabs out there half-heartedly, trying to find some distance. Neither one connecting as of yet. Both of them are throwing at a considerable distance from each other. Jamaine Ortiz can tend to kind of circle around Teofimo Lopez right now. Teofimo Lopez just kind of trying to figure out how to keep Jamaine Ortiz still for a moment. Teofimo Lopez fires a shot to the body. Doesn't really do much with it. So I can tell you right off the bat, Jamaine Ortiz fighting a little too defensively, a little too timid. Some decent movement, lots of circling. But if these don't get you to the point where you can put some offense in there. It doesn't do you a tremendous amount of good. I mean, it gets you less beaten up by your opponent. But if you're not punching, you're not winning. All right, Teofimo Lopez starting to somewhat try to pick up the pace here. He had a good right hand there on Jamaine Ortiz. Teofimo Lopez fighting a little timid himself. I think he's trying to figure out Jamaine Ortiz's path, his speed. I don't think he switched his power at all. Not that he's had a lot of it. Okay, good right hand there from Teofimo Lopez. Caught him circling. Less than 10 seconds left of the first round. Jamaine Ortiz may have landed one clean punch that entire round, and it was to the body. Right on the side there, kind of a hook to the side of the body. But I think, purely in terms of who would you want to be in that round, well, I definitely would want to be Teofimo Lopez. So I'm going to give it to him. Teofimo Lopez wins the first round. I apologize for the coughing. Allergies tonight kind of hit me out of nowhere, and like right before we went live on the podcast. All right, 2. All right, our friend of the show, Patrick Mullen, in with a comment. Teo looks slow, and he's dropping the left when he throws the right. Bad news versus the lefty. I mean, I would go along with that, except that Jamaine's not really throwing anything. Yeah, to your point, though, Pat, I need to see Teofimo Lopez pick up the pace a little bit more. Really cut the ring off from Jamaine. Jamaine's kind of just running from him. Even the commentary team kind of picked it up. That was Timothy Bradley in with a remark about he's just kind of hanging back. He's back waiting for Teofimo Lopez to make a mistake. So I don't know how sound a strategy that is. As for Teo, and the point that you were making, yeah, he's a little slow right now and not being particularly aggressive. Definitely not cutting that ring off. He has given Jamaine way too much space to run around. More of the same. Teo's just trying to get him to engage and not really working too well. Patrick in with another comment. Ortiz doing very well with the jab and has Teo biting on hand feints. Yep, Teo tried to get aggressive there. Jamaine dodged out of the way and then clinched up. I'm wondering if Jamaine's incessant circling, and Teofimo Lopez just refusing to cut that ring off, if that's going to lead to Teofimo making some bad decisions in frustration, impatience. Teofimo had Jamaine on the ropes there. Jamaine just bounced off the ropes and got away from him. And that's the end of round 2. I'm almost half tempted to give that round to Jamaine Ortiz based on what Pat was saying. Problem is, I didn't see much from either guy. I would almost go draw for that round. So, yeah, Patrick has it 2-0, though Lopez finally found a home for the decent right hand. I'll go 1-1 with you. That first round, I definitely have to give the Teofimo Lopez. I eventually have to watch that American Gladiator 30 for 30. We have Oscar De La Hoya in the audience tonight. All right, round 3. You're just tuning in. We are around 3 of this fight. Some would say it's 1-1. Some would say it's 2-0 for Jamaine. Some might even say it's 2-0 for Teofimo Lopez. I have it 1-1. No, now Teofimo's doing some circling, trying to get Jamaine to chase him a bit. Jamaine picking up the pace a little bit more. Teofimo is looking a little off balance in this round. A lot of crowding from Jamaine Ortiz, not really letting Teofimo Lopez have much room to do anything. Patrick says Ortiz is out muscling him on the inside and clinches, which I like. Yeah, I would agree with that. Oh, good uppercut there from Jamaine Ortiz. Okay, don't smile at him. Do something about it. Teofimo Lopez. Teo, this is supposed to be like your big Thursday night thing here. This is like the rock bottom pay-per-view, the Degeneration X pay-per-view. Had Vader actually stayed in the company, the Vader pay-per-view, and it did this whole night around you, gave you the circus entrance and everything. Use the time, buddy. Yeah, things are starting to go in Jamaine Ortiz's favor here. Like, Teofimo Lopez is struggling with what to do with this guy. But he shouldn't be. It doesn't seem like that hard. In your house. It's time. It's Tom. It's Vader time. Except that Vader was not there. I think that was Sid. Yes, sponsored by Karate Fighters. Stetson for Men. That was years before that. Ugh. That round was bowling shoe ugly, people. I was not thrilled. All right, so Patrick says when Lopez sits back in which Ortiz is more than happy to take the lead and control Teo's posture to prevent counterpunches. Yeah, and I think for that reason alone, Jamaine Ortiz, I think, took that round. Still not fun to watch. I'll give you that. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, I would say it's 1-2 right now. Jamaine Ortiz winning the last 2 rounds. Not a great look on a Thursday night for Teofimo Lopez. He really needs to turn it around now. He definitely cannot afford to give away too many of these rounds. Not even so much because like he might lose the fight, which he might. But again, big showcase fight on a Thursday night for Teofimo Lopez. They base his whole night around him. He needs to do a little bit better. All right, another clinch. Yeah, Jamaine is really stuffing Teofimo Lopez's offense. He's not giving him a lot of space. He's crowding him. So Teofimo Lopez can't really get a rhythm going. All right, Jamaine Ortiz has Teofimo Lopez against the ropes. Gets a couple good uppercuts in there. Teofimo Lopez not thrilled. All right, Jamaine Ortiz now frustrating Teofimo Lopez, really making him chase him again. Comes forward, gives you a 1-2. Not tremendously effective. All right, Teofimo Lopez with a quick left hand to Jamaine Ortiz. It's a halfway decent punch there from Teofimo Lopez. Now he's trying to capitalize it. He's coming forward. He's walking him down, and Jamaine Ortiz is making him eat punches every single time. Teofimo Lopez, no sense of urgency. Pat says story of the fight is Lopez landing one big power shot, but gets picked and poked the rest of every exchange for Ortiz. Yeah, that's true. All right. And they're fighting against the ropes. Ortiz lays in some halfway decent punches. Teofimo Lopez doing an Andy Ruiz. Come on, stand and bang, bro. Yeah, it's level. How are you not cutting off that ring a bit better than you are tonight there, Teofimo? His corner should threaten to switch his protein powder with IcoPro if he doesn't get after it. God, there's a reference. So I'm watching this fight on the ESPN Plus app, and I have now seen this ridiculous Burger King commercial like 20 times. Pat says, if Teofimo extended his arms, I'd swear I'm watching a Diaz brother fight. Yeah, kind of. I'm sure that remark was made in reference to my referring to him as the Andy Ruiz of this fight. Come on, come get me, Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua said no. I have a longer reach than you. I don't need to do that. All right, here we go. Round 5 of 12. And Teofimo Lopez, I mean, look, I'm sure the judges with this are being more favorable to Teo. He's probably winning more rounds than losing. But as Pat's pointing out, as I'm pointing out, I don't think he's doing realistically as well as he should be at this juncture. So Mark Kriegel's scorecard has it. Has Ortiz winnings round 1, 3, and 4. 39-37. Kriegel, shockingly coherent score. Yeah, it's not bad. I'm glad they aren't given 20-0. Jamaine Ortiz got some pretty decent speed on him. All right, Teofimo Lopez puts one in the bread basket and then nods affirmatively. Okay. Pat says Teofimo stands still every time Ortiz throws his head left, allowing him to extend to his right and never let Teo get set to throw. Very good, Pat. Jamaine Ortiz, after 5 rounds, still fresh as a daily. Still got a lot of bounce in his step. They're clinched up. Teofimo lands a hook in the clinch. Perpetual motion machine, Jamaine Ortiz. All right, less than 10 seconds of round 5. That says when you come in confident and perform even better when you know it's the other guy's show, you can keep this pace all night. It's fair. So I went over this before. They just showed what the ESPN schedule is. So pretty decent fight on February 16th, and they're done another good one on March 2nd. Like I said, we'll be doing the Anthony Joshua Francis Ngannou fight because that's on a Friday night, and I know I'm not already busy. I'm going to watch the Jake Paul fight, but I'm not going to cover it. And we don't need to talk about Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk until May, assuming it actually happens then. So they just announced another really good fight for my birthday weekend, the day before my birthday. Dimitri Bivol versus Better Beef. So I'm excited for that fight. Those two guys hit like trucks. Happy birthday to me. I'm being denied Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. Denied, I tell you. All right, round 6. Total punches thrown. Lopez 21, Ortiz 26. Well, there you go. That's right, Sean. Boom, heavyweights. And look, after the Tyson Fury Francis Ngannou debacle, people are interested in Ngannou as a boxer. So putting him in there with Anthony Joshua, the entitled Anthony Joshua, should be an interesting experience. All right, I really need to see more out of Lopez here. Because there's a lot of action here in the center of the ring with these two guys. But it's a lot like the first round or two where not huge commitments to offense, not really gaining any traction. Teofimo Lopez still can't figure out how to stop this guy from moving around the ring. It's a little frustrating. All right, Teofimo throws a combination. Jamaine Ortiz is able to evade it, seemingly pretty easy. Jamaine Ortiz almost tripped over his own feet. All right, what are we doing with all of this evading and circling there, Jamaine? What's the game plan here? Ortiz has such superior footwork to Lopez. Teofimo looks like he's never seen a lefty. Again, Teofimo, I said this before, he tends to fight entitled, which, you know, it doesn't really matter up to this point because he only has the one loss that's worked for him. But he kind of reminds me of Victor, what's his nuts? You know, I don't deserve to be beaten up like this. It's like maybe I'm projecting, who knows? But Teofimo Lopez definitely strikes me as that kind of guy. Oh, yay, it's not a Burger King commercial, it's Kohl's. There's the Burger King commercial. Patrick says, no, he reminds me of Nick Diaz. How can I hit you if you don't stand in front of me versus Condit? Oh, yes. Nick Diaz versus Carlos Conduit. Stand and bang, bro. Yeah, there's a lot of that. I can see it here. Teofimo Lopez is all the Jedi. Don't you understand? Sean says, Pat, I'll keep up with the Diaz fights just for the asinine excuses. Yeah, the Diaz brothers were, especially Nick, were pretty good about that. My favorite was Nick Diaz versus George St. Pierre. God, that was fun. All right, round 7 of 12. We're about 45 seconds in. So you're not supposed to show active frustration in the ring. Teofimo Lopez kind of throws a combination. Maybe it hits, maybe it misses, maybe it misses more than it hits. And then just sort of looks dejected. Like, kind of like throws his hands down and like, that's it, I quit. You can't quit. You're Teofimo Lopez. We need you. Oh, we've got a pretty bad cut over the eye. Ooh. Yeah. That was a nasty headbutt. Yeah, it might be. Pat says it's going to be stopped soon because of that cut. Which, I don't know how bad or good that works for Teofimo Lopez, considering he's not winning on the scorecards. Jamaine Ortiz fighting with a little bit more urgency now. Pet says the refusal of Lopez to take one step to his left to cut off Ortiz is insane. Yeah, that's what I've been saying this whole fucking fight, man. Like, Jamaine Ortiz just has full run of that ring because fucking Teofimo Lopez can't stop him. All right, that's mercifully the end of that round. Again, if there were any kind of bravery in boxing, I would go with the 10-10 round there. I would call that a draw. Not seeing enough out of either guy. The most exciting thing to happen in that round was the headbutt cut. Pat says if I'm in his corner, I say he can't see and go to the cards. Not a bad strategy. I'm sure he's winning on the cards right now. Though this is modern boxing in the year of our Lord 2024. Who knows? I'll tell you what, if you're Teofimo Lopez, you got to pick up the pace a little bit and go after that cut. Really open that shit up. Man, we go to split screen. Round 8, by the way. So 10 power punches, 56% thrown for Teofimo Lopez, 7 at 41% for Jamaine Ortiz. All right. Jamaine's still pretty light on his feet, still bouncing around, still circling. Teofimo Lopez with a half-hearted shot to the body. All right. Teofimo Lopez had Jamaine Ortiz in the corner there. Probably shouldn't have let him out. Yeah, Teofimo cannot. He can't make up the distance. And so Jamaine Ortiz pretty much stays out of reach. And then when he does get a little bit aggressive because there's that reach there, Jamaine Ortiz is able to, dig in his backyard. Jesus Christ! All fight long, Teofimo Lopez can't catch this guy. I think for giggles, I'm giving that one to Jamaine Ortiz. Pat says it shows how ineffective Lopez is when a headbutt cut in that bad of a spot stays close the entire next round and doesn't bother Ortiz. Yeah, he really should have turned it up a notch and gone after that cut and opened it up, trying to force a doctor stoppage. But again, Tito Ortiz. I'm so tired. Teofimo Lopez. He's not pushing himself. Like I guess he thought he'd have an easier time of this tonight. Him being the headliner and all. We are in round 9 of 12. So we have 3 more rounds left after this. They have it Ortiz 77 to Lopez's 75. He won they gave him the last 2 rounds. All right, Pat, in with the correction that they would go to the scorecards. Yeah, I don't see how he won the last 2 rounds either, but judges are going to judge. All right, Teofimo Lopez has got to pick up the pace here. But to your point that you're making, Pat, Jamaine Ortiz seems to have his number. So this throw one punch at a time offense from Teofimo Lopez not really working. And if Jamaine Ortiz keeps stuffing Teofimo Lopez's offense, I have to imagine at least on one judge's scorecard, he's going to end up winning. Jamaine Ortiz can go wherever he wants in that ring. Like nothing Teofimo Lopez can do about it. And Jamaine Ortiz suckers him into getting caught in the corner and then backs off of him. Yeah, Teofimo Lopez, not a huge fan of the doo-wop. Up. We have a slip from Teofimo Lopez. His feet went right out from under him. That is like the second or third time Teofimo got turned around with his back towards Jamaine Davis. And that time, Jamaine Davis let him have it. What are you smiling about, Teofimo? My goodness. Round 10 coming up. All right, and we need to see Teofimo Lopez here. If Pat has it 7-2 for Ortiz. Punches through 9 rounds, thrown 47 for Lopez, 50 for Jamaine Ortiz. Teofimo Lopez stalked him into the corner, and Jamaine Ortiz cut right out of it again. Yeah, this was supposed to be, again, a stage for Teofimo Lopez to set himself up for a big payday and a big fight in the next couple of months. Yeah, depending on what weight class they do it at. They got Devin Haney out there, Tank Davis. There's fights to be had, but he's kind of stumbling out of the gate here. Immediately tie back on. All right. Teofimo tried stalking Jamaine Ortiz into the corner. Stuffed his offense yet again. So one thing I will say in Teofimo Lopez's credit, he's forcing Jamaine Davis to miss him, but by the same token, he's not really taking advantage of those opportunities. Like, his offense seems very stifled. All right, another round for Jamaine Davis. Jamaine Ortiz. I keep doing that. Jamaine Ortiz. Yeah, 8-2 Ortiz. I would agree. All right, I'm not going anywhere, but I'm going to stand up for a second. I'm going to shake the sleepies out of my eyes. So while we wait for the fighters to get out of their corners, I'm going to get up for a second. Round 11. We are into the championship rounds here. And Tito Ortiz. Teofimo Lopez needs a finish at this point. He has not had an answer for Jamaine Ortiz's footwork all night. And that's problem number one. Someone says, you keep saying Tito Ortiz. I keep hearing Jermaine Dupree. Yeah, well, age, exhaustion, and brain damage. That's what happens here. All right. A little less stalking and a little more throwing punches there, Teofimo. So look at that. That's a great example of what he shouldn't be doing. He's kind of mildly stalking Jamaine Ortiz, and then immediately just like runs backwards for no good reason. He's giving him too much respect, too much space. Pat with a comment. Please stop acting like this is difficult to score to this point, Joe Tessitore. Yeah. That's why we started doing these way back in the day. Was the commentary team was, on ESPN or Showtime was just ridiculous. Especially on ESPN. Remember, we had some major issues with their commentary team. Not the kind of performance I expected from Teofimo Lopez tonight in this showcase bout on a Thursday night at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. Well, Teofimo was consistent. He has not changed his strategy or how he's doing things all fight. And now we are into round 12. They're saying they have had only one round where both fighters had more than punches. Not a great stat. They've got Ortiz 105 to 104. Yeah, probably a lot further like that in reality for Ortiz. All right, Teofimo needs a knockout here to realistically retain his titles. Which means he really has to go for broke a bit more. Stop fighting so timidly. And again, cut the damn ring off. We are in round 12, the final round of this fight between Teofimo Lopez and Jamaine Ortiz. All right, we've got just about 2 minutes left of round 12. And Jamaine Ortiz, all credit in the world to this guy, still got pep in his step. His legs are strong. Teofimo Lopez has done nothing about it. Yeah, Teofimo can't catch this guy. This is embarrassing. Oh, good counter there from Jamaine Ortiz. Caught squad in the nose. Yeah, Jamaine Ortiz just kind of content to circle and doesn't want to make any mistakes. Doesn't want to get knocked out in the tada nick of time. So he's just keeping away and circling and killing time. We've got 15 seconds left. And I'll be curious to see how they score this. And once we have scores, going straight to bed. And that's it. That's the fight. Had a little bit of an exchange there at the end, but nothing great. All right, Sean says, always feels to me like boxing is a little more forgiving about fights going the distance and not being dogged on. And Pat says, easy win for Ortiz. They'll screw him on a split decision. I vote majority draw. Canelo 120-0. All right, the judges are furiously scribbling out the original scores they had. He also scored Lomachenko 115-113 for Haney in that thriller last year. He went with Haney there. David Sutherland has never judged the Lopez fight, and he worked the Ortiz win against Jamel Herring. He also was one of the judges for Haney Lomachenko and had it 115-113. And then Steve Weisfeld, who I think many would consider currently to be the premier judge in the sport. He has worked 2 Teofimo Lopez fights. He has judged 2 Ortiz fights. He has worked so many notable fights. Steve Weisfeld is the 3rd judge, and they will decide it. Mark Kriegel, your final. All right, Pat says each one of these judges have robbed people. Yeah, I believe that. Mark Kriegel scorecard 114-114. Yeah, do we cheat him and how, Pat? That's funny. I told you, man. It's going to end up being a draw. Oh, shut up, Teofimo. It drives me nuts. Like, so he's sitting there, like, yelling at the camera, like, nobody wants to fight me. It's like, you just had this really great showcase on a Thursday night on ESPN, and you kind of whiff the ball, pal. Oh, my God. And we're going to commercial. See, I'm going majority draw, Pat. And then they'll run it back in a few months. Surely the rematch will make more money. God, I hope not. But, you know, crazier decisions get. All right, I'll be right back. All right, before we get our final decision here, Teofimo Lopez versus Jamaine Ortiz. Next week, we have a DMU for Lisa Frankenstein. Myself and Jason Teasley will be looking at a series of Richard Pryor movies, The Car Wash, Bruce's Millions, and The Toy, starring Jackie Gleason. Wednesday, Alexis Hana will be reviewing Has Been Hotel with, I think, Jesse and David. Thursday, I will be at Machine Head. And then that's it for the week. This weekend, if you're looking at like what canned hams we have, Sean, remember when we did our like 4-hour, I think, review of the Superman movies? Well, I edited that down. I took a lot of the nonsense out of it. And that's going to get re-aired this weekend. That'll be re-aired Saturday, or one of the very first Long Road to Ruins we ever did, the Christopher Reeve Superman movies. And then on Sunday, it's Metal Hammer of Doom Sundays. We've got our re-airing of Amon Amarth, Jom's Viking. So that's what's coming up here. This past week, like I said, we reviewed Percy Jackson and the Olympians, Argyle. Jason Teasley and I did a triple feature of women who sang the songs. Tina Turner's What's Love Got to Do with It, Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody, and Aretha Franklin, RESPCT, Find Out What It Means to Me. Respect. Respect. Walk. What do you say? So that's what we got going on the Radulich and Broadcasting Network. It's fun to go back and listen to the early Long Road to Ruins, see how far we've come as podcasters. We are not nearly as rambly as we used to be. All right, we are finally ready to get the final scores here.
Look forward to that. I don't look forward to ever seeing these styles go up against each other again. That was not an entertaining fight.
Oh shit! The lead commentator here at ESPN, that was not an entertaining fight. Yeah, no shit, pal.
And consistently executed it. And yes, Teofimo Lopez could never cut off the ring and really get into a rhythm. But these are paltry offensive numbers, which makes for such a muddled fight.
They are burying Teofimo Lopez on the broadcast. That's really funny. Okay. Hey, Abel Isais. Hopefully I pronounced that right. All right, they're doing the scores now. Give me a sec.
Steve Weisfeld scores them out 117-111. Tim Cheatham and David Sutherland both have it 115-113 for your winner by unanimous decision. And still,
Teofimo Lopez by unanimous decision. 117 to, I think, 111, they said, and 115 to 113. The fuck out of here. This is why Pat will come on and look, I'm laughing because we said the whole time, like, legitimately Jamaine Ortiz won that fight. Hands down. Won the decision. We were saying, oh, just to save face, it'll be like a split draw, or, it'll be a majority draw. You're welcome, Sean. Thanks for, hey, you don't have to thank me. I thank you. Thanks for coming on and supporting me tonight. I like doing this, but it's definitely have fun to have friends in the chat to talk with, especially when I've got zero to add because the broadcast goes interminably long. Anyway, to the fellow who just asked me about the scores, like we said the whole time, like Jamaine Ortiz should have won that one, but it was probably going to end up being some sort of schmozzy decision, and nope, just came a clean victory, unanimous decision. Canelo 120. 120 to 0. That's why we make that joke, people. All right. Oh, luck. Didn't cost me any money. I was home. Yes, the robbery was shameless, Pat. I was actually about to say before I do address Sean and the other guy, this is why Pat doesn't come on and do these on camera, but he is happy to watch a free fight and comment on it in our little. But yeah, that was BS. Get into a whole thing, but one of the last times Pat did this with us, again, it was another top rank fight. Again, it was another ESPN fight, and again, the wrong guy was named the winner. And Pat went on a 10-minute-ish long rant, and I know that because I cut it for TikTok about how like it's hard to buy into boxing when it's in the state that it's in, and guys are getting wins off of scorecards that don't match reality. And when you love it as much as some of us do, it's frustrating to watch because you know it's like watching pro wrestling. You know, when you no longer, when you can see behind the code of the Matrix, when you can see behind the make believe, it isn't as fun anymore. And it's like, no, you want to watch a real competition. You don't want to watch a work. And not that I think like the fix was in necessarily. I think everyone fully expected Teofimo Lopez to legitimately win that thing, and when they didn't, everyone sort of scrambling to fucking cover for him. You know, it's nonsense. There's no legitimate reason why he should have won on all three scorecards. I think it was like 117 to 111, 115 to 113 times 2. I'll double check that in a second, but yeah, it was just like laughably bad. I can't remember which is another one where it's the same deal. The one where Pat went on a rant. There was like no fucking way those scores are legitimate. Yeah, 117 to 111, 115 to 113, 115 to 113. Bullshit. I want to go to bed, but I'm also like now dying to check Twitter to see what the fucking reaction to that was. All right. So those of you who just came in late, one more time, for those of you were just like, hey, who won the fight? Illegitimately, Teofimo Lopez retained his belts by unanimous decision, 117 to 111 and 115 to 113 times 2. Boxing, everybody. Love it or leave it. All right. Legitimately, thank you for those of you who tuned into this YouTube exclusive for me and me just kind of, watching and rambling and trying to not fall asleep on camera unsuccessfully. I appreciate you all. We'll do this again with the Anthony Joshua fight. And anytime there's something on like a Thursday or a Friday, because I tend to not be out those nights, I will cover it. It's a little hard to do on Saturdays because I'm usually busy being social. But I'm going to try to do as many of these as I can over the course of the next few months when I'm able to. Maybe some Saturday during the day cards before I go out in the evening. So, some of the stuff on DAZN or, ESPN during the day. Last weekend, there was a fight on Peacock. I just, I caught some of it before I had to go out. Went to a burlesque show, as a matter of fact. So maybe some more stuff like that coming up. So either way, thank you again once again. Please check out our other podcasts on the network. And if you don't like me, check out Sean's stuff. Check out the Talk to Keki guys. Check out Jesse Starcher. He works on his podcast. You can't see his pretty face, but you can hear him talk about comics with all the red hot passion of 1,000 Suns. Speaking of 1,000 Suns, I'm out of here. Be well, be safe, and behave.